Hello, everyone. My name is Eric Zietlow. I have here today with me Peter Bakas. We're going to be talking about cloud impact on the market, a lot of the trends we've been seeing, and kind of how they're playing out.
From DataStax, this is the Distributed Data Show.
So thanks for joining us today, Peter. It's really great to see you. Do you want to fill the people in on kind of what your background is, kind of what you've been doing over the last few years?
Yeah, absolutely. So I'm Peter Bakas. I am Chief Cloud Technologist at DataStax. My background is everything from payments to streaming to display advertising at places like PayPal, Yahoo, Netflix. I co-founded a company called Datascale that was acquired by DataStax about 2 years ago.
That's how you got here, right?
That's how I'm here.
Yeah, there you go.
So I was heading up cloud engineering and transitioning over to a cloud technology role. So
you've had kind of a pretty wide range of experiences then. I mean, that's quite the list of names you listed off there for companies. What are kind of some of the trends you've seen in the market around, kind of emerging technologies, big themes, you fill us in?
So I think the big one is around cloud, right? Everything's cloud. If you look back a few years ago, there was the question of if we go to the cloud.
Right.
I think today it's no longer a question of if, but when.
Right.
So organizations know that they need to be cloud enabled, and so they need to have a plan. So I think that's one major one, is how fast things are transitioning from say on-prem to a cloud-based environment. I think another one, along with that cloud migration and being in the cloud, is around microservices. Netflix made that popular,
right? Yeah,
several years back, and so the microservice architecture is kind of becoming the dominant way of doing things within the cloud. Some other interesting trends that I'm seeing is around containerization, serverless,
right?
Function as a
Kubernetes
service.
is now the buzzword of the day.
Yeah, and I think that's over the last few years, there's been a variety of different technologies, and so as those technologies have matured, you're seeing that they're becoming more of the standard.
Right.
I think the other area that's pretty interesting to me is around SaaS and its role within the entire ecosystem. There's been more of an acceptance of SaaS as being a part of companies and what they do. Several years back, I'd never have CRM data or HR data or payment data, and now that's kind of becoming the default. It's the domain experts are providing these as services,
Right.
and organizations are really looking at, how do I accelerate what I'm trying to do and not take on additional responsibilities and having to hire people and understanding the technology. So,
right. So do you think that's kind of the reason that adoption has shifted from the we might to the we need to kind of mindset? Is it just kind of infrastructure has changed, we don't want to handle all this, so we're just going to send it over there to others? Or can you dig in a little more?
I think it's twofold. I think it's a time to market, right? So how do we get to a point where we're providing business value faster?
Right.
So that's one. I think the other is around the complexities around technology and software and constant evolution. So as organizations, I know I need certain things or certain functions or certain services, but finding and retaining talent is becoming very difficult.
Okay. Yeah.
And so every company is becoming a technology company. And so it doesn't matter what the industry is. I was just reading an article of acquisitions, fast food chain buying a analytics company.
Right.
And so it's no longer, these are tech companies and these are different verticals. Everyone is a tech company and everyone's competing for the same people.
Right. So then you get the subject matter experts who can provide that same thing that you'd have to hire for, and they're providing it probably at a better level right out of the gate.
Yeah, I mean, it's a better level. So you have domain experts that are SaaS, for example, better level, deep understanding of the technology and the economy of scales. So it's often much cheaper than if companies try to do it themselves.
Roll their own solution. Yeah. So you said there's really a mind shift going on in this space where, companies, they see the value, they see the benefit. Where do you kind of see this affecting enterprises like, DataStax or big software providers? How's this playing in their space?
So I think the key thing, not just for DataStax, but other companies like DataStax, is how do people want to consume that service, and how do they add value, right? So when I was at Netflix, one of the big things we always talked about was paved path. Right? So paved path essentially is, providing services and systems that other teams can then build on top of.
Right, it's kind of a big microservices infrastructure that's consumable by the whole organization.
Exactly. So if I'm a developer, there's certain things that I don't want to have to invent myself. I could leverage things that are on the paved path.
Right.
The undifferentiated heavy lifting. So there's certain things that as a company, as a development team, I need, but it doesn't necessarily differentiate me.
Okay, yep, absolutely.
So while I need monitoring and logging, I'm not a monitoring and logging company.
Right.
While I need to be able to do CI/CD, while I need to be able to do, databases or data pipelines, those aren't necessarily what my company does. And so if companies aren't able to provide that internally, that's where SaaS becomes very interesting, or even some of the things that cloud providers do, right?
Yeah,
it helps accelerate. So I can get started really quickly and then not have to worry about some of these other pieces that are required in this, microservice architecture, providing an overall business solution, things of that sort.
Yeah, absolutely. So, well, thanks for coming out today and talking about this. Are you going to be around at some of the conferences, Accelerate?
Absolutely. I'm looking forward to going to Accelerate and meeting a lot of folks and talking more in depth about cloud trends, technology, solutions, and how to add business value.
Absolutely.
Definitely
So there's more to come on this subject. And
absolutely.
Awesome. That's wonderful. Well, thanks for coming. Really appreciate it. We'll see you later.